The counterattack is back on the road this week. We're at Cal for the 2016 NCAA Men's Water Polo Championship. Our brand new counterattack's coming up next. Hi everyone, Greg Mescall here. Thanks for joining us on the counterattack this week. We're in Berkeley, home of the Cal Bears. They were the hosts for the 2016 NCAA Men's Water Polo Championship. This was a fantastic tournament. Great playing games, great semifinal action, and of course the final game featuring Cal and USC. Let's get you caught up with the highlights. Awesome crowd on hand here in Berkeley. Big USC turnout, a bigger Cal turnout, no surprise, the Bears playing at home. These two got together at this pool back in 2010 for the NCAA final. Pouring rain, game went to OT, USC won it. How would things turn out this time around? We pick things up first quarter, USC off to a great start. They go up 1-0, Zach Desau will make it 2-0 here with 3:40 left in the period. Second quarter action, Bears get on the board. Shafak Simsek gives off to Johnny Hooper, the team's leading scorer. Relatively low scoring game in the first half. USC leads 3-1 at the break. Now we go third quarter. Scoring starts to pick up. Cal on the comeback trail. Nick Carnelia will put this one home, making it 4-3 USC. Now we go to the fourth quarter. Cal coming all the way back. They tied it at 5-5. Now this goal from Simsek will put them ahead 6-5, their very first lead. Moments later, USC has an answer. Blake Edwards, he will tie it up at 6. After Cal went ahead 7-6, one more answer from the men of Troy. They turn to the MPSF Newcomer of the Year, Matt Meyer. He'll tie the game at 7. That will force overtime. USC trying to hang around. They turn to James Walters. He'll score his second goal of the match. That makes it 8-8. USC would get no closer. The rest of the way would belong to the Cal Bears. Farrell South here will go through a forest of arms, cross cage to score it 9-8. And then with time winding down in the first OT, Luca Cupido, after the ordinary foul, buries it from distance. It's a 10-8 lead. Second OT, the Bears ice the cake. Simsek, with time winding down, will bury this one, his third goal, a hat trick, and the Bears win it 11-8. Everyone into the water. Cal's first title since 2007. The trophy is back in Berkeley. Afterwards, Coach Kirk Everest and MVP Lazar Andrich on the historic victory.
We talked a lot last year after losing in the semi about what we could learn and the speed of the game and how these championship type games go. And I felt like they handled it really well. Where we could have gotten down by a few more and then we're really scuffling. They focused in on defense, and our offense was struggling for the most part of the first 2 quarters because we were rushing and we were anxious and we felt like we were trying to win the game on every possession. We just slowly got better as that game went on, and in all phases. And it's a team that you saw kind of grow up in 2 days.
We were a little bit tired from yesterday's game, but then we knew if we keep a good defense that we're going to be able to win this game. And as Coach said, progressively we improved our defense throughout the game, and I personally knew that we were going to win this game after the fourth quarter.
Before we finish up with the NCAAs, we've got to talk about the semifinals. You, of course, know who won since we just showed you the finals. But in the first, USC defeating Harvard 19-4, all Trojans, but credit to the Harvard Crimson for winning 2 playing games just to get to this match. That led to a fantastic game. UCLA versus Cal in the other semi. Here are the highlights. Early on, UCLA ahead of 1-0. Cal battling back. They tie at 1-1. Now Johnny Hooper to Odysseus Masmenides makes it 2-1. Then we go third quarter, skipping ahead, 5 seconds left in the period. Cal's up here 5-4, make it 6-4 thanks to Farrell South, and the Bears are rolling. Johnny Hooper will score, making it 7-4, and it looks like the home team is cruising into the finals, but hang on. The UCLA Bruins, who set an NCAA record for consecutive wins, are not going to go quietly. They get on the comeback trail. Ryder Roberts connecting here. Then it's the Olympian Alex Rolsa. He'll bury it. Contributions coming from everywhere. Warren Snyder will score, and it's 7-7. We're all even here in the second half. And how about this? Max Irving to Chancellor Ramirez. That's in the back of the net. And UCLA goes ahead 8-7, erasing a 3-goal deficit in the second half. Cal tries to respond, and they do. The left-hander, Connor Newman, with 3:34 left, ties it at 8. Remember that name because now we go into overtime. No goals in the first OT. Second OT comes up under a minute to play. Only goal we'd have in overtime, and it's Connor Newman beating the keeper. That's the game winner. Cal takes it over UCLA 9-8 in a thrilling finish. In addition to all the high-level NCAA water polo this past weekend in Berkeley, there was also the annual Water Polo Coaches Association convention where some of the best minds in water polo coaching get together, and some coaches you know were honored as well. USA women's head coach Adam Krikorian, as well as Serbia men's head coach Dejan Savic, both were on hand to speak at the conference, and they were honored here during the semifinal round of the NCAA Championships.
The two things that came to my mind, two biggest things were, number one, complacency, right? After you win and you have some success, to me this is the evil word. Complacency is the word that all coaches need to be concerned about. And that was a big concern for me going in. And I think anytime you're diving into something, you got to know the challenges, right? You got to know the obstacles. And the other thing was just to give you a background, was just the qualifying process for us this past time was different. As some of you might know, we only had one chance to qualify. It was, usually you have two chances, Pan American Games, and if you don't qualify at Pan American Games, which the U.S. has always qualified at Pan Ams on the women's side, you go to the qualification tournament. And since Brazil was hosting, we had no Pan American Games. They took our spot away, so we had to go to a qualification tournament. We knew that way back when, and when we started this journey, and we knew ultimately it would come down to one game. The winner of the quarterfinal games would qualify for the Olympics, and the losers would go home. So that's a big challenge ahead that we saw.
In addition to the two great coaches, there were other speakers on the panel. Jack Bowen was there, ODP mental skills coach Brian Alexander, and Olympic gold medalist Maggie Steffens and Kylie Neuschel.
I think Adam did a really great job of making an environment where you could feel comfortable and making an environment where you want to get better. And I think that's something that's really important about a coach, is having somebody that's going to inspire you to try to be better. And I think that was something that was really important on our team, was that not only do you want to be better in the water, but out of the water, and just kind of having that mindset that it's not just the sport, it's you as a person. And I think that that kind of can carry over to how you play in the pool and how you carry yourself.
And now we go to Canada, Windsor to be exact, just north of Michigan, for the FINA World Aquatics Gala, where, surprise, surprise, the USA women were honored again as the top women's water polo team in 2016. When you win all the major championships, odds are you're going to be named the top team in the world. Olympic gold medalist Kaylee Gilchrist was on hand in Canada to receive the honor on behalf of Team USA, and in some pretty good company, Michael Phelps being honored for his tremendous swimming career. And again, congrats to the USA water polo women for a well-deserved honor. And from the senior women to the USA youth women who have headed down to New Zealand and Australia for the FINA Youth World Championship. First stop, Australia, for some pre-competition competition where they're taking part in a Four Nations tournament. They've already played one game, beating Hungary 17-10. Coach Marcelo Leonardi talked after the win.
Well, I thought we did a nice job for first game in the tournament. You know, there's always a couple jitters here and there, especially when we're training twice a day. But first half to second half, I thought our defense stepped up. We broke open with a couple of opportunities, and slowly and systematically, I thought we drew a couple of exclusions to kind of break the game open. But overall, happy with our performance for game one.
USA women will finish up in Australia this week, then head to Auckland, New Zealand, where they'll begin play in the Youth World Championship on December 12th. Keep in mind, Team USA, the defending gold medalists in this event. Well, you're certainly familiar with college students being student athletes playing the game of water polo, but what about a college class that teaches you all about water polo? Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina, the latest to do it thanks to Dr. Scott Raidmaker, a CWPA alum from Miami University back in 2004. His class held their championship game last week, where some creative team names emerged, the Water Dragons and the Fire Dogs, and the Water Dragons won the crown 9-3. Students loved the class and are looking forward to the course being offered again in the spring. Now we switch gears to age group water polo and the Rocktober 12 and under PCA Classic, which took place this past October in Mesa, Arizona. We had the chance while we were in Arizona to feature a lot of different clubs that were there to take part in the event. One of them was the host, Mesa Water Polo.
Everything about this tournament is teaching the kids how to play the water polo the right way, teaching the kids the basics of it. It gives the referees a great opportunity to learn. It gives coaches and parents an opportunity to kind of see water polo at its basic and not necessarily take the game as seriously as we've seen it in the past. It's had a very fun element to it, which I think in some cases makes it much more enjoyable for everybody that's involved in it.
Some of these California teams are like really hard and they're really good, and I know that we haven't really been playing well, but I thought we did really well against them. Some of us are learning like really well because we just started about 2 weeks ago, and it was really fun to get to know all these people, and they did really good. So
Mesa we're the only club team in the state of Arizona, so we don't get an opportunity to play a lot of games against a lot of other teams, and having such a great facility like we do here, this has just been a great opportunity for us to show the rest of the country what water polo looks like out here, and it does a great job of getting us to get excitement in the state of Arizona about having more kids come to the sport.
water polo is very big here. We have a lot of people. We like to call it an army of people because we have over like 30, 40 people here. So I think that everyone is good, especially our goalie. He really does a lot of great blocks, and he's just the best.
I think the Olympics has been a huge help for us this year. Even in our own club, we've seen our numbers grow from kids that had an opportunity to see Team USA play down in Rio. And so I think our hope is that some of the other groups that play a little bit of Masters water polo out here have access to bigger pools to hopefully grow smaller club teams. I think once we get a second club out here, I think more will kind of follow once they see that it's starting to build in this state.
Well, first we didn't really know anybody's names, so we had to learn it and get to know each other, and this tournament just helped a lot. We stick together as a team, we play together as a team, we're kind to each other, and I like doing it because most of the guys I faced today were really fast, so I could kind of keep up with them. Some of them were too fast for me, but it's cool. I liked it.
This has been a learning experience the whole weekend. We got a 12-kid roster with 8 of them playing in their first ever tournament, and most of them have been with us for about 2 months. So having these kids grow so much during this weekend and seeing them have so much fun has been an awesome experience.
It was good. We needed more defense. It was better. We had better offense, but we did a good job. We did as best as we can, and it was good.
Now we close things out as we do every week on the show with our social media send-off, the best of what we have found from you on the internet. You can get involved, use the hashtag counterattack. We'll share it right here on the show next week. Let's get things started with a very NCAA heavy social media send-off. And first up, no surprise, when you win a title, what happens? Everybody into the water, a celebration for this Cal Bears squad. There's some fans in there for sure, quite a few of them, I think, outnumbering some of the players in the pool. After that, we go to Harvard, hyped after their big run at the NCAA tournament. Big deal for the Crimson to win 2 games, 1 at home, 1 on the road. Nice job there from their Harvard H2O Polo Twitter account. USC, we know a devastating loss for them in the final, and there are no moral victories, but it's worth noting 12 straight NCAA finals is one heck of a run, and no reason to think they won't be back in the mix next year. Then we go out to Colorado Springs, one of our favorite events come every December, the USA Water Polo ODP Holiday Camp, girls edition up first. The classic team photo on the stairs there at the home of Team USA in Colorado Springs, and then the game played at the end of the camp, the Snowball Classic. Congrats to the winners. Also, an opportunity for coaches and referees to work together, work on their development skills. This camp really helps everyone. We love to see our USA Water Polo clubs doing things for their communities during the holidays. Shout out to Pride Water Polo Club of Southern California running a Thanksgiving food drive. Great to help those in need. The Water Polo Coaches Conference was this past weekend. Coach Krikorian speaking among others and preaching the word of water polo in a church-like atmosphere. You have to love that caption. And now we go out to Ohio, where Peter Pappas gets some congratulations on his retirement. And apparently in the state of Ohio, when you retire in the game of water polo, you get an awesome water polo cake. Congrats on the career, Peter, and that cake looks pretty great. And then we go from there a little bit further east to West Point in upstate New York, where Olympian John Mann got in the water with the Army water polo team. They seem thrilled to have an Olympian in their midst. Great to see the two-time Olympian in the water. And last but not least, Rachel Fatal and Team USA showing off the gold medals at Village School and Elementary School in Southern California. Those kids are hyped to be hanging out with some Olympic champs. Good stuff there, as always, in the social media send-off. Thanks for all your contributions. Use the hashtag counterattack. We'd love to feature your stuff next week right here on the show. That's going to do it for this week's episode from Berkeley. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, when you're on the counterattack, look weak side.